Hi there, and welcome back to Path to Your True Self. Tonight, or wherever you are in this moment, I want you to relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and just breathe for a second, because this video is not about becoming perfect overnight. It's not about hustling until you burn out, and it's definitely not about pretending you have your whole life figured out. This is about something much more powerful. Tiny changes. The little things most people ignore, the habits that seem too small to matter, the invisible decisions that quietly shape your future. Because the truth is, your life usually doesn't change in one giant moment. It changes in whispers, in patterns, in tiny repeated actions. One healthier thought, one extra glass of water, one moment of self-respect. One morning where you choose not to give up on yourself. And eventually, those tiny moments become a new personality, a new mindset, a new reality. So if you've been feeling stuck lately, unmotivated, lost, emotionally exhausted, or frustrated because you're not where you want to be yet, this video is for you. Tonight, we're going to talk deeply about how small changes create remarkable results. How your habits shape your identity, why consistency matters more than intensity, and how you can slowly rebuild your life without overwhelming yourself. And I need you to really hear this. You do not need to change everything at once to change your life. Sometimes one tiny shift changes everything. So let's begin. Most people approach self-improvement with extreme energy. They get inspired, motivated, excited, and suddenly they want to wake up at 5 in the morning. Meditate for an hour. Work out every day. Quit sugar. Journal nightly. Heal emotionally. Start a business. And reinvent their entire personality in 1 week. And for a few days, it feels amazing. But then reality hits. They get tired, overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and eventually they stop. Then comes the guilt. I always fail. I'm lazy. I can't stay consistent. Maybe I'm just not disciplined enough. But the real problem is not you. The real problem is trying to transform your life too aggressively. Real transformation is not violent. It's gradual. Nature understands this. Trees grow slowly. Muscles grow slowly. Healing happens slowly. Confidence builds slowly. But because social media glorifies instant success, people start believing they're failing if they don't transform immediately. That mindset destroys progress, because massive change usually begins with microscopic choices. The person you become is created by what you repeatedly do. Not once, not occasionally, repeatedly. Your habits are votes for your future identity. Every time you choose yourself, even in a small way, you are changing your brain. And the beautiful thing is this. Tiny changes are sustainable. Anyone can force themselves for 3 days. But small habits can quietly reshape your entire life over months and years. And that's where real power lives. One of the biggest lies people believe is, it's just one day. It's just one habit. It's just one negative thought. It's too small to matter. But life is built from small things. Your confidence is built from repeated thoughts. Your health is built from repeated behaviors. Your relationships are built from repeated interactions. Everything compounds. If someone drinks a little more water every day, stretches for 5 minutes daily, reads 10 pages nightly, and speaks to themselves with slightly more kindness, at first, nothing dramatic happens. But after 6 months, their energy changes, their mind changes, their emotional state changes, and eventually, their entire life changes. Tiny actions are like seeds. Most people quit because they plant the seed and expect a tree tomorrow. But growth happens underground first. You may not see immediate results. That doesn't mean nothing is happening. Sometimes your transformation is invisible before it becomes obvious. And honestly, this is where most people give up. They stop too early. They don't realize that consistency creates momentum. One healthy meal doesn't transform your body. One workout doesn't change your fitness. One positive affirmation doesn't heal your self-esteem. But repeated enough times, everything changes. That's why patience is powerful. Not glamorous, not exciting, but powerful. This part is important. Most people focus only on outcomes. I want to lose weight. I want more confidence. I want success. I want peace. I want love. But lasting change happens when you shift your identity. Instead of saying, I'm trying to become healthy, you slowly become someone who values their health. Instead of saying, I'm trying to be confident, you slowly become someone who treats themselves with respect. And identity shifts happen through repetition. Every small action sends a message to your brain about who you are. When you keep promises to yourself, even tiny ones, your brain begins trusting you again. That matters deeply, especially if you've spent years feeling disappointed in yourself. Maybe you've started over many times. Maybe you've abandoned goals before. Maybe part of you secretly believes you'll never truly change. But listen carefully. You do not rebuild self-trust through giant promises. You rebuild it through tiny acts of consistency. Waking up when you said you would. Drinking the water. Taking the walk. Writing the page. Speaking kindly to yourself. Tiny actions create internal proof. And eventually your identity changes naturally. Not because you force yourself to become someone else, but because you practice becoming who you really are. A lot of people think habits are only about discipline, but habits are emotional. Sometimes people stay stuck because chaos feels familiar. Self-sabotage becomes normal. Stress becomes normal. Negative self-talk becomes normal. And changing your habits means changing your emotional comfort zone. That can feel uncomfortable at first. Even positive change can feel strange when you're used to surviving. That's why healing requires gentleness. You don't need to scream at yourself into becoming better. You need compassion, because people grow faster in safe environments, including the environment inside their own mind. So instead of attacking yourself every time you make a mistake, try speaking to yourself differently. Not fake positivity, not pretending everything is perfect, just kindness. Okay, I slipped today. Tomorrow I continue. That mindset changes everything, because shame usually creates more self-destruction. But compassion creates resilience, and resilience matters more than perfection. Perfect people don't exist. Consistent people do. Let's talk about practical examples. Tiny changes are not dramatic, but they are life-changing when repeated consistently. Making your bed in the morning can create mental order. Walking outside for 10 minutes can reduce emotional heaviness. Putting your phone away before sleep can improve your mental clarity. Drinking more water can improve your energy and mood. Writing down your thoughts can help release emotional pressure. Even something as simple as pausing before reacting emotionally can change your relationships. Small shifts matter, because your nervous system notices everything. Your brain notices repetition. And over time, your life begins reflecting those tiny decisions. This is also why negative habits matter. Tiny toxic patterns compound too. Constant self-criticism, doom scrolling for hours, ignoring your emotional needs, speaking negatively about yourself every day. Those things slowly shape identity too. That's why awareness is powerful, because once you become conscious of your patterns, you can begin changing them intentionally. This is something many people misunderstand. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel inspired. Some days you won't. That's normal. If your growth depends entirely on motivation, you'll constantly stop and restart. But tiny habits reduce resistance. Reading 1 page feels easier than reading 50. Meditating for 2 minutes feels easier than forcing 30. Going for a short walk feels easier than intense workouts. And once you begin, momentum often carries you further. The hardest part is usually starting. This is why small habits are psychologically powerful. They bypass overwhelm. Your brain resists massive change because it feels threatening. But tiny change feels manageable, safe, and sustainable progress always beats temporary intensity. One of the most beautiful things about tiny positive habits is that they create self-respect, not ego, self-respect. Because every time you choose your well-being, you send yourself a message. I matter. That matters more than people realize, especially if you grew up neglecting your own needs emotionally. Tiny acts of care become emotional healing. Making healthy food, resting when needed, setting boundaries, cleaning your environment, keeping promises to yourself. Those things may seem ordinary, but they're deeply transformative psychologically because they teach your subconscious mind that your life is worth caring for. And eventually you stop chasing validation so desperately from outside sources because internally you begin feeling grounded. Sometimes people feel discouraged because their transformation feels slow. But slow progress is not failure. Slow progress is still progress. A flower does not bloom faster because you stare at it impatiently. Growth takes time, especially emotional growth, especially healing. Sometimes your progress is invisible because it's happening internally first. You may be reacting differently, thinking differently, becoming calmer, becoming more self-aware. That matters. Not every transformation is visible immediately. Some of the most important changes happen quietly. And honestly, the people who change their lives long-term are usually not the loudest. They simply keep going, quietly, consistently, patiently, one small step at a time. There's a version of you that already exists beneath fear, self-doubt, and old conditioning. A calmer version, a healthier version, a more confident version. But becoming that person is not about becoming someone fake. It's about removing the habits, thoughts, and patterns that disconnect you from your true self. Tiny changes help you reconnect. Every healthy decision strengthens that connection. And eventually something beautiful happens. The things that once felt difficult become natural. You no longer force yourself to care for yourself. You naturally want peace. You naturally protect your energy. You naturally choose better. Because identity has shifted. That is real transformation, not temporary motivation. Embodied change. If you remember anything from this video, remember this. Your life can change dramatically from very small decisions repeated consistently. Do not underestimate tiny improvements. One better thought can interrupt years of negativity. One healthy habit can start a completely new chapter. One act of self-respect can change the way you see yourself forever. And if progress feels slow right now, please don't quit on yourself. Some transformations take time because they are becoming permanent. You are not failing because you're growing slowly. You are growing. And every tiny step matters more than you realize. So tonight, tomorrow, this week, choose one small change, not 10, just one, and repeat it lovingly. Because tiny changes create remarkable results. And your future is being shaped by the little things you do today. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for spending this time investing in yourself. And remember, you're allowed to grow slowly. You're allowed to heal gradually. You are allowed to become your best self one tiny step at a time. Until next time, take care of yourself.